And joining us on the line to talk about a brand new single, a brand new artist for us folks, we are welcoming to Flow, Voh. G'day, Voh. How you doing today?
Hello, I'm great. Very happy to be here.
It is a pleasure to be chatting to you. Now, there's lots we need to get through. Now, first I need to ask you, Voh, where does that come from? Because that seems to be an unusual sort of artist name.
Yes, Voh, V-O-H. It's, first of all, my initials, but it was also a nickname of mine when I was growing up, and to me it just represents the funnest side of me. So, I had to go with Voh.
Well, I'm glad you said the fun side of you, because looking at your video clip for the song, I gather you've got a great sense of humour, so I could see this fun side of you coming out. So you've answered a couple of quick questions for me straight away. Now, before we get into the musical side of things, I need to ask you, is it true? It's in my notes here, and they send me these things, and sometimes you go, that cannot be true. But you are the number one ranked Australian women's fencing artist. Is that right? Have I got that correct?
Yes, women's foilist. So fencing, it's the sport that I do, and I do represent Australia. And currently, I'm just clutching on to number one rank in women's foil. So that is true.
Congratulations on that. So did you compete at the Olympic level, or is that the goal to be at the Olympic level, or how are you going to juggle that with a music career? So there's three questions all in one for you.
Yeah, it's quite a big question in my life right now, but I'm very determined to continue both for the moment.
Yep.
I competed in the Olympic qualifiers as Australia's representative this last year, actually. In 2020, I didn't just make it, but I do compete at the highest level possible at World Champs at the open level. So, and I have to balance those, which of course is a bit tricky, music and fencing.
Wow, that just the mind boggles as I think about that. Now, just on, because we love our sport here at Flow, and we love talking to different people in different sports. And so on the fencing side of it, I know you sort of have a special stance, and you've got to sort of just tag the person, and that sets off a little alarm, and that's how you get your points. But the strategy, because it seems to me that you could just swat it away all the time. So how intense is the strategy to that? If you can sort of just explain a little bit to us.
It's just the craziest mix of mental game, tactics, but also it's so physical. I think there's a perception of, sword fighting that you see in movies, but it's developed into a lot more physically intense modern sport. You mentioned, someone could just parry your blade away, but then you're able to disengage around the blade. And so technique is really strong, but also fitness, because it's so intense. It's almost like you're sprinting because you're in such a low squat position.
I understand that, With the blades, because they're long, they're not short, so how do you manage to control the end of it?
Yeah, that's called point control, and it's something you just need to train for many years to develop how just precisely you can control the tip. Exactly.
Wow. Now, it's just us talking, so tell me, Voh, has there been moments when you've wished, I'd like to swap this fencing sword that I have and swap it for a lightsaber?
Oh, that would be really cool, wouldn't it? Sometimes they edit the swords into kind of glowing things in the international coverage. So it's cool.
So I gather as we'll leave it there with the fencing. But congratulations, thank you for representing Australia, and good luck. Hopefully you will get to represent us at the Olympic level. We'd love to see that and get a medal. So we're going to be cheering for you all the way. Now,
thank you.
Has the fencing been inspirational as far as your musical career goes?
It has, very much so. Representing Australia, I've been able to go overseas to some great cities and obscure countries as well, and meet lots of people. And I do think it's kind of given me a bit of a world view and opened my perspective. And so you'll see with the music that I'm going to roll out over this year that there's lots of diversity and lots of different world influences as well musically.
So I gather you come from a musical family sort of background setup?
I do. It's a bit of a creative hub here. My mum is an artist. My dad's an actor. I play music with my brother, and we write together. And on this whole EP, I've made it with my uncle, who's an amazing producer and writer. And so, yeah, I've got all these amazing resources at my fingertips. I'm very lucky.
I take it you're a bit of just a sponge absorbing all the knowledge that they can pass on to you as well.
Oh, I really try to. I think sometimes with music, you have to learn how to trust yourself. But just to have, professionals in my life, I'm really just trying to learn as much as I can from them and grow, because I'm going to be doing this forever. So.
And fencing as well.
Yeah. And my brother and my dad fence as well.
Oh, wow.
We're quite a tight-knit family.
So you're not the Aussie number one girl. How good are they? Are you way better than them, I take it?
Results-wise, I'm leading the way in my family, but my brother is known for being very creative and kind of out-of-the-box fencer.
Okay, well, I watched the video that the two of you put up, the acoustic version for your song Away, that we'll get to hear shortly. Now, I was watching that, and I would not have picked that he would have been into fencing at all. So for you telling me that, I'm just, I'm bowing down. You're not worthy. That is absolutely brilliant that the two of you do that.
He's amazing, yeah.
So how often do you write together?
We, I guess, can at any point in the day. We're both kind of committing to music and fencing. So, yeah, pretty much maybe every day, every second day, we try and have a little bit of a jam and try and do some creating.
What are the musical inspirations for both of you? Because I would gather they would not always be the same.
Yeah, no. I think I'm a big pop advocate, and I think I just love pop music, and it's really uplifting and powerful. But he's into a bit more niche. He listens to a lot of Japanese music, but we both very much are kind of grounded in 70s music. We love Van Morrison and T-Rex and all the things our parents played to us when we were young.
It was a pretty good era, the 70s.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good era. Yeah, I enjoyed a lot of the music that came out at that time and still quite often go back to it. So your new single that we're going to get to hear, it's called Away. So how did that come about? Because when I'm looking at the video clip for it, which is quite amazing, and there is sort of a bit of a dreamy quality, and it's right at the very end of the clip where you're sitting there and you're looking at this, and I don't want to spoil it and give it away or anything, but you're looking at this picture, and it would not be the first time where I have been in an art gallery or anywhere where I've looked at a picture and I've just felt myself wanting to either be immersed in it or just getting immersed in it. So it's just the way you've done it is just absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. That's really amazing feedback. I think that's really the whole point of the music video. But I guess Away as a whole project, you asked, it was kind of like a chain of inspiration. So my uncle wrote the song, and when we recorded it in lockdown, my mum, as I mentioned, who is an artist, was really inspired, and she did this landscape painting, which you're right is just kind of fantastical, and you just want to dive into the pools and the view. And so she painted that specifically for the music video. And then I watched her paint, and I said, I can sit on top of that cliff. And it just grew from there, just building this fantasy world, of this, it's escapist fantasy world.
And that's exactly because that's what I got, just looking at it and climbing the mountains and following the river all the way through it all. So, that picture we're looking at, that was your mum painted that. Brilliant.
It is, and it's a beautiful painting. I can just sit in front of it for hours and just get lost.
And I totally understand that. So the talent in your family, so are you good at painting or drawing, or you don't possess that skill?
Do I draw?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of drawing in my time, but I'm kind of weird. I take a long time to do my drawing. It takes me like a week to finish one drawing.
Yeah. Well, in the song, you sing about just sailing away somewhere. Is there anywhere you'd like to sail away to?
Oh, that's a great question. I guess, we've been in our house for so long with this pandemic, and I also... I don't know if you know, but I was born and grew up my early childhood in New York, and I haven't been back since I moved, actually. So I wouldn't mind to float away to New York in this moment, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, you wouldn't be alone because I think there'd be a few that want to go with you. So
Yeah.
just the way things are at the moment, but we understand that. So you're actually an Australian Asian American, it says here in my notes. So juggling you're AAA, you're juggling all the A's. So good on you.
True. Yeah. I mean, I'm really proud of, that I'm a bit of a mix because, especially our Thai heritage as well, it's, maybe say sort of familial values that come from that side as well. It just makes me who I am. Yeah.
How have you managed that growing up in New York City, the busiest city in the world, to now being in Australia where it's probably a little bit more laid back?
Very, very chill. Yeah, in New York, I used to sit and look out the window and just people watch. But here, I don't think I see people on my street very often, and it's a welcome, part of my life now. There are beaches 10 minutes away and so much more nature, which, in New York, there's like a tree every 20 meters kind of confined in this weird concrete box. But here, it's just and I think we need to be really grateful because there's greenery everywhere, fresh air, beaches. It's amazing.
As sources of inspiration, New York has done it for many an artist, and so has the Australian, as you said, nature. Which resonates the most with you?
Wow, that's tough. I really can't say. What I love about New York is just the fact that it's a cultural melting hub. You can go to plays and concerts and art exhibitions, and maybe that's a bit. I wish there was a bit more, nightlife here. But I do have to say I've really grown fond of the lifestyle here and the space. Yeah. And it's probably a bit better for your health. Yep. having healthcare and nature and this relaxed vibe that is very enjoyable.
That it is. Although, what's next for you? You've got the song Away that's out at the moment. Great clip for it, as we've talked about. What's next? You said you've got an EP that you're working on. So what's the kind of time frame for all this? When are we going to get to hear the EP? Yeah,
well, it'll definitely be, in the beginning of this or the first half of this year. I think we're just trying to be reactive to the market, and so I don't have a set date for the next single, but I think I'm going to release a couple of them as singles because they're all really unique in their own way, and I think they deserve their own space. So I'll probably have 2 more singles and then do the whole bunch of songs later on and, see how it connects with people. Is,
Mum going to do another picture for the next video clip? What's happening?
Yeah, well, I have to say we're not pulling that gimmick again, but my mom is very involved in all the creative production for Voh, so, this next music video is really fun.
All right. We look forward to seeing that and hopefully looking forward to chatting to you more about it. Voh, it has been absolutely fantastic chatting to you. Good luck with everything from the fencing side of it and with the musical career. Hopefully you can be very extremely successful on both fronts. I really do hope that for you. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. All right.
Say good day to your brother for us, but can you please introduce your song for us for all our Flow listeners who are eager to hear it?
Will do. Hey, this is Voh, and dive in now to my new single, Away.
I've been thinking of the time I spent with you and all the places that we promised we'd get to. It's true. There's so much left to do.